I attended Saul's mastermind because I believe it is imperative to get proximity to entrepreneurs that are much further ahead of you, and that is Saul. Saul, I had watched his content for quite some time. I've used so much of his free value, implemented it into my own business, and I've seen growth already. So I thought if I get proximity to the big man and I get in a room with him, no doubt there's going to be some gold to take away. I also believe as an entrepreneur, it's so imperative to be around people that expand your mind as to what is possible. It's not a nice to have, it is a must have to put yourself in those rooms. There were so many takeaways from the event with Saul. Probably one of the biggest standouts and pieces of feedback for Saul. Most masterminds you go to, you'll have 3 to 4 speakers and you have to interpret what is applicable to your business and then go away and implement it. Saul sat down with us personally, one-to-one, asked us what the biggest bottlenecks were, asked us thought-provoking questions, which allowed us to think differently. And he gave us direct solutions to those problems, to those challenges that we're facing, so that we could go away from the event and implement straight off the bat. So many things like differentiating myself from the market, ensuring I have a unique theory to my content so that I don't just blend into every other business owner making content. I'm a big believer that beige is boring and sameness is the enemy, and that's something that Saul really hit home. So we got clarity from my offer on what was going to allow me to stand out, and when you stand out, more eyeballs on the page, more leads, more money, bigger business, and it's going to allow me to live a life that I want. I also got much more clarity on my next hire. Sometimes when you're inside the bottle of your business, you can't read the label on the outside, and Saul's mastermind allowed me to really zoom out, look at my business from a bird's eye view, and get absolute clarity on my next hire. And we've already had the call and it will be implemented, and I will have the new hire starting from Monday. So that was a game changer alone. Furthermore, Saul gave me a much better insight as to how I could add more deliverables to my offer to increase the price point without actually it taking more of my time, which is going to be absolutely invaluable and probably a 6-figure tweak alone. So thank you to the big man. There were so many insights and takeaways from the day, so many penny drop moments from the value that he delivered, but those were some specifics that really stood out to me that's going to have a massive impact on my business. And when you think of the investment for a mastermind, it is nothing in comparison to the return from the advice that Saul will give you. And watch Saul's content for many months now. He's delivered so much free value, which has impacted my business and my life for the better. Getting proximity to him, I would absolutely recommend Saul to anybody who wants to level up their business, and not only that, but level up their lifestyle as well. One thing that Saul talked about, which really stood out to me, was not just how can I make more money, but how can I live a better life? How can I live a life that fulfills me? How can I live my dream day? He is an absolute wizard who can spot your blind spots a mile away just by asking thought-provoking questions. He works with many different industries, so no matter what field you're in, it will be applicable to you. Business is business at the end of the day, and he's a master of the game. Anybody that wants to increase their revenue and live a better life, and they're currently facing challenges in their business which they'd like to overcome in half the time, it's a no-brainer to work with Saul. He's an absolute legend, and outside of the business, just a real genuine guy, a very sincere individual, and from meeting Saul, I could not speak highly enough of him. Big love. My name is Daniel Dorgan, and big love.